Take two. So I am on my porch. I did this video yesterday. I hope you guys can hear me. I did this video yesterday and I did it from my phone and I did it the wrong way. I faced upwards, facing to the side. It's pretty cold out here. But I'm going to voice over that video and then pretty much do exactly what I did in that video in this video because it's a lot more clear. I don't know why I came out so pixelated. We already know this kingdom is fallen, so. But either way, so repeating of yesterday, I planted in these 15-gallon grow bags sweet potatoes this late summer, and I put hard-neck garlic, which I'm going to show you shortly at the closing of this video. My mom accidentally dug it up several times, and it kind of like had to reroot, so we're still waiting for those to spring up. But hard-neck garlic is the only garlic that you're actually able to plant during winter and actually overwinter it, compared to the soft-neck garlic or California garlic. It doesn't have that long neck inside of it. So we actually seen progression in it. So when I was actually making the honey garlic, excuse the noise again because I'm on my porch and I live along a main street, so you may hear a lot of cars. They had like the little tiny garlics inside the center or close to the center of the garlic, and we was breaking them apart. So I decided to plant them. Well, I actually had my mom do it. I was pregnant at the time. And here they are. This is our little garden. We have, this is our knockout roses, our marigold sleep. We had lavender, and our Russian sage right here. So right here we planted like the small little cloves. And as you can see, even though we mulched it over with some compost and some leaves, there's still green coming up. So we actually could cut these. I'm actually gonna break a small piece off. And it literally smells like garlic. So this is what's growing in the garden right now. The overwintered small. We planted a lot of it. You guys can see it. There's a lot of it back there. So we pretty much just clumped them together and threw some dirt over it, slightly watered when it was still warm. Let them take root, and now they're just being warmed by the soil and the leaves on top. So I don't think I can turn my camera around, which kind of is But in this trough right here, you see right there, this is in front of the house. And that tree you see was the lamb quarters that planted itself in there. And lamb quarters can make you itch, but we're actually able to harvest the leaves, rinse them off, and then pretty much eat them, and it tastes like spinach or in a leafy green family. Excuse this quick talking. It is cold. I'm happy that I got something warm on, but I'm still cold a little bit. So I want to actually show you guys how it's looking. I'm going to crouch down. So right here, if you guys can see it, you see greenery. You get green here, here. So all these places where you're seeing green is the garlic clove. Now one clove can will make a whole head of garlic. So some of them are a bit close together, so the heads may not be so big, but this is the first time that we're doing this. You also see it down there. They're still coming up. Some of them here. Some of them are back there. You see some of them come up here, over there. So this whole stretch, you guys can see this whole stretch has nothing but garlic in it. I hope I'm not making you guys dizzy. I'm gonna try to get a different angle. So I'm hoping something comes up. If it doesn't, it's okay. You normally when you plant garlic, when it get the biggest clove. I did put one of my mint plants out here, which is actually right here and it's doing well. One of my mints right here. We actually composted it, so I'm trying to be careful where I step. We dug up a couple of dandelions and actually dug up the roots actually. So these are the bigger ones. You see right here, here, and there. We put some of the eggshells before we started to crush them up ourselves, and we putting them in there. So we got a few things happening. So that's pretty much the winter garden. These are the things that we are overwintering while the garden itself is sleeping for this season. And that's pretty much it. I didn't want to be too long-winded with it. That's pretty much what's happening. So it's gonna, the green is showing that it's established. The roots are established and it's growing. They're going to feed off the nutrients of the soil and the compost that we mix with it, and they pretty much it's going to be slowly grow. Now what's going to happen is whew, if we do get snow, or a lot of it, we're going to keep on putting leaves just to protect it throughout. And as the water, most of the leaves break down, and when spring comes, it's going to heat up the soil. This is going to jumpstart their growth. So pretty much by the time spring comes in, these are going to shoot up. All of them are going to shoot up because the ground is not coming back to life. And once that happens, you pretty much follow the normal protocol of growing garlic. We're probably going to put another fresh batch of compost down to really feed it. And pretty much you'll keep garlic growing. It doesn't take much for it to grow. And once the shoots get really, really big, when they begin to die off and start to turn yellow, that's when you know that garlic is ready. Around that time, I'm hoping to plant ginger and turmeric. And see how we do with that. So grow pots is definitely a cool thing. I definitely plan on starting my sweet potatoes a little earlier than we did. We had a late start this year solely because our spring frost didn't end until about late May. So we didn't really have a long growth season this year. But solar praises for what we was able to do. So this is the update on the garlic. I'm actually going to attach the video of me starting lemongrass. While I was in Virginia visiting my sister, I went to an Asian market and actually got some nice organic lemongrass. So I'm going to be cutting that today, putting it in the water because it doesn't require a lot of light. And I may be going in on the other side, we'll see, but I got a good amount of them. And we're hoping to grow some lemongrass this spring of 2022. So all praises. So we're back in the kitchen, warming up now. I'm very happy I have my morning tea. So excuse not be able to see my face. But this is a hardneck garlic. So generally hardneck garlics, they can range in size. I actually did have some really, really huge ones, which was the one that you've seen all the way on the other end of the trough. They had those thick plants coming up. So this one is not as big as far as in size. These have multiple. The other ones was like really, really, I think they're called elephant garlic. They're actually like maybe 4 or 5 really big, huge cloves. And then they had like maybe 2 or 3 small ones. So pretty much the larger and longer the neck and the bigger the bulbs, pretty much the less cloves you'll have. So you still have garlic that gives you a hard neck, and there's different varieties of garlic. Also the amount of cloves. So you always want to choose the thickest and the most healthiest clove that you have. The smaller ones I use to make my minced garlic, which would be, I can quickly show you guys what that looks like. But this is what a hard neck looks like. Obviously, hard neck. So that's pretty much what it was. If I happen to go to the store, I can always add a clip or a video of what the different variations of garlic that there is that's available, at least by me in Michigan. It's going to vary from state to state, and also depending on the type of climate that you have. Obviously, if you have different types of garlic being grown in your region or area, you probably will have more variety. So far, I have soft neck and hard neck and elephant. I have seen some purple varieties of soft and hard neck, but I rarely see them. So I go with what's most available by me. But this is a hard neck garlic. So the tiny cloves that I had left, I made my own minced garlic, and obviously you get way more. This is like an 8-ounce jar. It looks weird, but don't mind it. It looks like this solely because I actually have mine in oil versus water. So pretty much what I did is I took the remainder of the tiny cloves that I had left, rather than planting them all over the garden. I pretty much peeled them and then put them in my food processor, which I don't know where my mother put it, but yeah, it's somewhere unless she used it. The food processor, and I added maybe a 1/4 cup of olive oil, being that I wasn't cooking it. I rather use extra virgin olive oil. And I added some pink Himalayan salt just to preserve it. And once it was done grinding up, scraped it, put it in here. So it's solidified like this solely because there's oil in it. Helps preserve it longer rather than it just sitting in water. I haven't figured out how I will go about putting it in water and it'll last longer, but I made this almost a month ago, and I pretty much use probably a tablespoon if I make something and I want to sit there and kind of give a fanciness to my eggs. But rather than you sitting there spending $3 and $4 or $5 for a tiny little one, or even a big one or a huge one, if you know you use minced garlic a lot in foods, you can always mix it up with things that you normally mix and make your own mix. This is just olive oil, salt, and garlic. And if I make anything, I'll just take how much I need. 2 cloves worth, a tablespoon, a teaspoon, a quarter teaspoon with obviously your measuring spoons. And throw it into the skillet. And it'll begin to melt and break apart. And it avoids you having to sit there and use butter or any excess oil. And you already got that. You can make a herbed garlic, minced garlic. Mix some fresh herbs and or dry herbs with this. And that way you have a nice ready packed away. You can also make an ice cube. That's a whole other video. Part 2 of garden things. This is our green onions, spring onions, or scallions. I mean, whichever name you go by. So this is store-bought organic scallions that we've gotten from a store called Better Health. Sometimes we're able to actually get these at Walmart in the organic section, and we've pretty much been re-growing them. So as you see, we harvest, we'll put them in the fridge, and we'll chop them up. You can put them in an omelet or something, or just probably sprinkle on a salad, whatever the case may be. We chop, keep them in water, change the water, and they pretty much just keep them re-growing for us. So we got these. We have them in indirect light next to our plants over there, and this is pretty much how we still have a garden without having a garden. So there's many things that you can regrow, like leeks you can regrow, romaine lettuce you can regrow, scallions you can regrow, and many other things you can constantly regrow and get minimal things without actually putting it in dirt all of the time. And last but not least, here is the lemongrass. It's starting to dry out because I don't have it in water, so I definitely need to get up on this as much as possible. So I watched a whole bunch of videos on YouTube to make sure that I am appropriately. Was I trouble wrong? So as you see, this is lemongrass. I got 3 of them, and they're about. Oh, 1 second. Ooh. I asked to zoom in. Can't zoom in or out in this mode. So yeah, this is lemongrass. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So about 6. So I got 16 lemongrass, and I can actually, when I grow them, bunch them up all together, and they'll begin to sprout up. I just found the video, looked through several videos. I'm gonna do a little bit more on how to actually cut them, but I know I'm gonna cut a little bit off the bottom just to expose it to get the new roots. And they say to chop them 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say about here. I haven't figured out what to do with the rest of this, but pretty much this is already grown out and they got pulled up from the root. So what they sell at Walmart is pretty much like this portion, and I can't regrow that. I need the bottoms. So I'm probably going to cut these about here. Do the same thing I did with the scallions, put them in water, and I'll have to literally just give you an update on how our lemongrass is doing once we have done that. But other than that, peace and healing. And this is the garden update, winter garden. I can quickly show you what the other things that we have growing in the living room. Let me just turn on this light. So, excuse the mess because we are moving everything around. We just got back, so. We got snake plant. Our sweet potatoes are still being humidified. We have our aloes that's going good. They're still little ones, so we're hoping to put those out so they can really flourish. These ones we have brought back in. They're kind of not happy right now, but all praise be the Most High. They got their roots growing. You know, this is a survivor. This is my son's plant he had since he was 4. It's called My Little Plant. And he's doing a fantastic growing. Oh, I'm already showing you guys. Growing a new baby. So this is a trooper here. He's been here since we left New York. So all praises for that strong spirit. One of the sisters, one of Brother Naquam's sisters, went to St. Thomas with her husband, and she brought back a snake plant for us and gave us instructions on how to deal with this. My first time actually dealing with a snake plant. And then the first year, after planting in water and it getting the root, this was his first baby right here, this beautiful one here. And then it grew this one that's leaning right here, and then now it's growing a third and possibly a fourth in there. So all praise to the Most High. And up there we have echinacea, which is dormant, and my 2 stevia plants. Still showing signs of life. I probably should water them to keep them, you know, because they are next to heat. But the two orange are the stevia plants, which we harvested from Greatly. So, and this is our hyssop, anise hyssop. So other than that, we're doing pretty well with the garden. And we got another snake plant over here. And this is the other. Oh, this is long baby ones too, the tall one. Yeah. So we have propagated. This is the other snake plant. The tall one that you just seen, we had propagated right here next to the homemade cereal. It right there. So that one is growing. So I actually sent my sister a cutting of that one, and so it's tall. So this one is growing. Some new ones as well. So that's pretty much the update on the garden. And I hope you have guys that learned something, you know, and just let me know what you guys think. So we're back, and I took out the lemongrass. I'm about to quickly just give them a nice rinse, and that way we can clean them off. This is a different one. How it grew. It got a little lump here, but so I'm about to quickly just rinse these off, and then we're going to begin chopping. So they're nice and rinsed off. I love this cutting board. I think I got it from Amazon, but it actually has spaces, so it's like the fruits and vegetables side. Meat side, got a nice handle, and then the tray I have that attaches to my drainer. I actually can slide this in perfectly so it hangs up. So we got that. I did wash out a typical glass that we have. Don't really use these much, but see-through for now so they can get that light. And I'm going to be cutting them. So I'm going to try and do like maybe 2 or 3 at a time. So they're all different. I'm going to cut them as high as I can. Just so maybe I'm going to get a sharper knife. That would be wise. I'm just going to work with this right now so I can get started. Yeah, bigger knife, definitely. A sharper knife would be better. So, smelling it. Wow, that's powerful. Ma, come smell this. It really smells good. Give it a bigger one so she can smell it. She got one. Ma, you doing too much. Smell it. It's not too lemony, but it's lemony.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Mm. Strong.
Okay. Alright, so I'm actually going to get a different knife. That's more sharper. I'm just going to quickly just take off that edge off. I'm not going to cut too much. These are really tough. You know what? I'm just going to hold off on that. I'm just going to put them in the cup now. I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but they still smell good. I'm just going to do one at a time. So we're down back to the last one. This one, the one I was looking different, I was trying to debate whether I should sit there and just cut it below or above. Since I like being different, I'm going to cut it above, just slightly above. Slightly above. Wanted to save this one for you guys. So it looks like that. It smells like really, really good. Wish it had smell-o-vision. So right here you see the remainder of them. Didn't want to be discriminative, but I did put the big ones in one glass and the small ones in another glass. So I'm going to cut the bottoms off and see how it goes first. So I'm worried about it. You peel all the extra skins off. I'm gonna peel all these skins off of this. Use the first outer layer. That lemon really coming through. Okay, so I peeled up all the skins off of the smaller batch. I'm actually feeling kind of nervous about cutting the bottoms. I already cut this one. and not these. So I'm gonna just put these in water. I peel the outer layer skin off. I'm gonna do these for the bigger one, fill them up with water, and pretty much just do a voiceover of a picture. So you happy peoples, no picture required. Peel them, got a nice amount of water in them. They're slightly above the tallest ridge that has a double ridge on them. And since tomorrow's prep day, I'll see if they drink a lot of water. If not, these will go throughout the Sabbath, and I'm gonna be watering them until changing their water until about Sunday morning. So I hope you enjoyed everything. Actually for the garden, and stay tuned for any updates on the things that we're doing for this winter for our garden. Shalom.